What is up, good people of YouTube? Now, today I'm here to talk about Avengers Endgame. Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame, the so-called final conclusion to the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe saga, and also, in my opinion, the most anticipated movie of the year. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. So this movie follows the devastating effect left by Thanos after snapping his fingers with the Infinity Gauntlet while having all 6 Infinity Stones fixed into them, just by this, wiping out half of all living creatures from the universe, leaving the remaining superheroes to fix this. So that is all I can reveal about the plot of Avengers Endgame in respect to the Russo brothers, as well as to anyone who hasn't watched this movie yet and doesn't want anything else spoiled for them, just like how I was before watching this movie. Now, my take on Avengers Endgame is... okay, but before that, yep, I would just like to show you guys the shirt I wore to Avengers Endgame, which is this shirt right here. Yep, it's the same shirt I wore to Infinity War. Yeah, in case if you're wondering where I got this shirt, I got it from Uniqlo, so you can call them to ask if they're still selling these awesome shirts. Okay, sorry, so where was I? Oh yes. Well, this movie was marvelous. Watching Avengers Endgame is undoubtedly one of the greatest and most memorable cinematic experience I will ever have, to be honest. A lot of things about this film surprised me. Okay, mainly the plot and the tone this movie took. Because firstly, the plot was much complicated, as while still being very, very interesting. And the tone was a much serious, emotional, but still compelling one. After seeing this, I was very curious to see how are they going to make this work, which they ultimately did with the awesome screenplay, the jaw-dropping action scenes, the effects, the editing. This film was just so well crafted despite being 3 hours, which I was initially, I felt, learning about the news of this movie being 3 hours was kind of daunting for me, because let me just check if daunting is the right word I should use over here. Let me just Google Chrome, daunting. Oh, yeah. Actually, no. Maybe a better word would be worrisome. I say that learning that this movie was 3 hours was worrisome because I don't think that I've ever sat through a movie which was almost 3 hours. That is just crazy. So that is why I was worried if I was eventually going to get bored by this movie, which I actually, it turned out that I wasn't bored by this movie at all. Every second, I was invested in this movie for, every second of those 3 hours watching Avengers Endgame. A few more interesting things about, them going in this approach with the tone and the plot is that, first of all, they managed to add humor at the right parts of this movie, as well as getting to see how much the characters have grown from how they were in the previous Marvel movies. Now, this was sentimental to me as someone who has grown up watching all the Marvel movies, starting with the 2008 Iron Man movie. So yeah, seeing how far the characters have really gone was, it was another part, another reason why watching this movie was really memorable. The best part of this movie was the epilogue, okay? Because it wasn't just the most grand and almost perfect conclusion to Avengers Endgame, but to also the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe saga. Unfortunately, regardless of how great a movie is, no movie is ever flawless, and this applied to Avengers Endgame. There were some very noticeable plot holes in this movie. You know, one of it was, oh right, yeah, sorry, I almost spoiled it for you guys. Okay, yep, you know, you guys can go watch the movie yourselves to find out what were the plot holes. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Other than that, I don't think that there were any other mistakes in this movie too. Yeah, no other mistakes. So overall, again, Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame was marvelous, and it is, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie so far. Okay, this movie is not just the closing of a chapter, but it is also the opening, the unfolding of a new one, which I'm very, very pumped to see. It is very clear that the Russo brothers and everyone else involved in this film worked at their utmost best to make this movie what it is. Yeah, as well as to keep it on the wraps. Yeah, they had a very good reason why they wanted to keep any information about the movie in secrecy. No, so I think that is my take. My most brief spoiler-free take on Avengers Endgame. Anything else I say from this point onwards is going to be spoiler. So I just want to stop right here. Okay, yeah. So thank you guys very much for watching this review. Now, should you go watch this movie? I don't think that I really need to answer that question. Yeah, well, it's the most anticipated movie of the year, so you're still gonna go watch it unless you really, really hate movies. Then you shouldn't go watch this movie, because this movie was definitely almost 3 hours long. Now, I would also like to take this chance to thank, well, no, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to watch this video of me thanking them, but thank you, Russo brothers, everyone else who made these Marvel movies, and last but not least, Stan Lee for making these Marvel movies possible. I had one hell of a ride, you know, the ride of a lifetime growing up watching all these films. So thank you very, very much. So yep, that's it. Well, thank you guys again, and hopefully I can see you all again with another movie review. So see ya.